Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television. And on this edition of Up Close on METV, we're very privileged to have with us Frank Bruner, Executive Director of Crime Stoppers of Manatee. Frank, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charles. It's always good to be here.
Thank you for being here. I know you're a very busy man, and you know, we've always tried to get you on the program from time to time, and we're privileged to have you with us today to talk about one of the great signature events here in Manatee County, and that's the Manatee Crime Stoppers Safe Kids Night. And again, congratulations on doing this for such a long period of time. How long have you been doing this?
This actually will be our 11th year, and that's correct. We started off, 10 years ago with just kind of a vision, and it's really become a signature event in Manatee County. We actually have some families that they've made this part of their Halloween tradition. We've watched children grow up through this, and we actually even now occasionally will get some phone calls and emails in the end of September, early October, just wanting to know, are you all doing your event again this year? So it's great.
Well, it is a terrific event, and we've had the privilege of covering it for a few years, and the attendance is great, children love it, families love it. But I don't want to talk in detail about the event itself, but before we start, for those people that are out there, tell us a little bit about Crime Stoppers and the significant work that they do in this community.
Well, thanks for the opportunity, and certainly Crime Stoppers has been in Manatee County now for over 25 years, and we are a nonprofit community organization made up of community leaders, civic-minded folks, people that are concerned about community safety, and our mission is to assist law enforcement. Mm-hmm. We can do a couple of things that law enforcement can't because of state laws. Mm-hmm. We are allowed to keep all of our informants and our tipsters confidential, and we have money in our coffers that we get through fundraising and various sources that allow us to pay tips to tipsters that provide information that leads to an arrest. Mm-hmm. It's been very effective. We've had over 50,000 tips in our 25-year history. In the last several years, we average over 1,000 tips per year, and we pay out anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a year in rewards. But in recent years, we've started to get more involved with young people, not only just in our neighborhoods and a community, but we recognize that school safety is a big issue. And even just crime prevention, training, public awareness of the kinds of things that you can do to have kids and families safe. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how we evolved into doing this event. Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I must point out to the community that Manatee Crime Stoppers has been a very significant role in combating crime, and the ease that you can use Crime Stoppers, the effectiveness of Crime Stoppers is a wonderful thing, and we've been very privileged again to help you in some public service announcements and about how people can do it. They can do it by phone, anonymously, and they can even do it by text.
And also on our website, they can do anonymous tips. Well. But you're absolutely correct. And again, everything's completely anonymous. We're proud to say, and again, I also want to acknowledge METV. You have been a crucial partner for us, helping to get the word out to the community and the credibility of what the program has. There's always people that wonder, am I really going to be anonymous? And where is my tip really going, and so forth. But with the three methods that you just mentioned, the calling our toll-free hotline, which is actually answered at a call center in Canada, so that it's completely jurisdiction proof in terms of somebody trying to get information, trying to get somebody subpoenaed to court. It's over international borders, so all the information that's called in doesn't go to anybody else other than to the Crime Stopper hotline. Of course, the texting is something new, and it's been very popular with young people, especially in our schools. And then course, our website, which we really like because that actually allows people to upload pictures and digital evidence if there's something that they're aware of. But in the 25 plus years that we've been operating in Manatee County, we're proud to say we have never compromised the identity of a tipster.
And again, it's such an important tool for the community to have. And I would encourage everybody who who knows of a crime or wants to pass on information, to visit either the website or to find out more about it, because it's a valuable tool.
Absolutely.
But one of the key things that you've done, and under your leadership and the stewardship of Manatee Crime Stoppers, is that each year, the Safe Kids Halloween Night has proven to be just a wonderful community event, and for a variety of reasons. One, it's a safe place. For years, it's been at the Bradenton Auditorium, and the doors, before the doors open, there's lines up around the block for kids to come in. You have games, you have activities, you have a wide variety of sponsors, which we want to talk about, and participants who are there, to make that a special night for everyone. It's a wonderful event, and I think it's a great thing for this community, because families know that they can come to a safe place. They don't have to take their kids through a neighborhood that they may not feel safe in, but it's a wonderful thing. But this year, it's a little different, and due to some circumstances, we're moving the event, and tell us about that.
That's right. Well, and I do want to just touch a little bit about the history of how we started to do this. And 10, 11 years ago, people probably remember that have been around. We had a huge boom of growth in Manatee County, and so we do have neighborhoods that still don't have sidewalks. We have some neighborhoods that don't have street lights, and of course, unfortunately, we do have some neighborhoods that, as you mentioned, people are looking for a safe place to be. There's some neighborhoods, quite honestly, I wouldn't want my kids knocking on doors and asking for candy and so forth. But we, as you mentioned, have had the privilege and the benefit of having really created this signature event at the Bradenton Auditorium. It's been there for 10 years, and as I said, every year that we've done it the last few years, we haven't even promoted it quite as much, because it's like, if we do it, they will come. And there's always that little lull when we're done setting up for the day and decorating, and there's about a 15 to 20 minute lull, and I always look down at my watch and I look out the door and say, well, I wonder if they're going to come this year or not. And then literally about 10, 15 minutes before we open the doors, as you mentioned, there's literally hundreds of people in costume, families smiling. They've got their trick-or-treat bags waiting outside. As you mentioned, we're moving this year. Unfortunately for us, but obviously good for the community, the South Florida Museum is bringing in a national display or exhibit with the Da Vinci exhibit. Right. And so they needed to have a place close to the museum that could be available for long term. And so we were displaced. Fortunately, we had enough lead notice in order to find someplace else to be. And after kind of giving it a little bit of thought, it kind of dawned on us, hey, the fairgrounds, now that in the last couple of years, they've built that new expo hall. They have that big metal building. And so fortunately, I contacted Dan West with the Manatee County Fair, and he's their director, and he said, sure, we're available. They've been very accommodating, very helpful. And so, yeah, we're excited about moving the event this year. And we're trying to get the word out, because after 10 years, we know there'll probably still be some people that will show up at the Bradenton Auditorium, and we'll probably have to put up some signs that says, meet us at the fairgrounds this year.
But I must tell you, having been at the auditorium for a period of time, and it is a wonderful thing. But moving to the fairground is a plus too. There's easy parking, it's easy access, and it gives you a wide variety of space allocations as well. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We're very excited. After actually looking at the fairgrounds, we're really excited about some of the opportunities that we didn't even really think about. First and foremost, we have a very bold main entrance, right on a pretty busy thoroughfare across from Palmetto High School. So we'll have the IFAS extension office is letting us use their digital sign, the last couple of weeks to promote the event. There's a Manatee County Transit bus stop right in front entrance of the fairground. So I know there's some families, they don't want to be on the road on Halloween night or whatever. So I would anticipate we may even get some folks that will actually ride the county bus and get dropped off right there. We have that nice bold entranceway to the fairgrounds. And as you walk in, that expo hall will be right there. But as you mentioned, when we were at the Braden Auditorium, we were also dealing with the space outside, also served as a parking lot.
Sure.
The parking for this event will be like it is at the fair, on the exterior of
Right.
of the fairgrounds, whether it's across the street or along the side streets. But we have a lot more space now. So
Exactly.
we're going to have some things on the outside and on the inside. We'll have a dunk booth on the outside.
Are you going to be in it?
I don't know. We might see.
Well,
I'm
we'll
told
see.
I'm a pretty
Okay.
good heckler. But we will be using the paved area right out front of the entrance to highlight and showcase public safety vehicles. We're fortunate to
excellent.
have a number of our law enforcement partners that'll have police cars and some of the equipment that they use. We're expecting and hoping to have some of our fire companies, if you will, to be there with fire engines. EMS has been a partner with us for a long time, and so we anticipate them bringing out an ambulance and just having some things out there. This year, one of our longtime partners has been the DeSoto crew. And since we have space, they're going to bring the ship out for the first time.
Isn't that the San Cristobal will be there with the full DeSoto people?
That's exactly
Which is
right.
always an exciting thing anywhere you go. But to have that at Save Kids Night is wonderful.
And we're really excited about something new because of the space. We're fortunate one of our sponsors who's been very involved in the community for many, many years is Conley Buick, GMC. And so they wanted to become involved, and because we have the space, we're going to try to kick off something new with Truck or Treat. And they're going to actually bring out some of their GMC trucks and some SUVs and so forth, and have people be able to kind of check those out. And I know they're going to be handing out some candy and so forth. It'll be interesting to see if some of their staff will dress up or not, but we're looking forward to them being there as well. So we'll have some nice things going on outside, but the exhibition hall at the fairgrounds, I'm sure what you're familiar with, it's probably about twice the size inside.
Easily twice the size.
And so we do have a lot of space to fill. And just for those folks that are watching, if you're a community agency or organization, we have many of our partners that have been with us for every year, but we still do have some space. So I know that you flashed a graphic up there with our website address as well as a phone number. If there are community agencies or organizations that are interested in participating and hosting a booth, just let me know. This is a service that we do for the community, so there is no charge to host a booth for community
What a great
agencies.
thing. So if you're an agency, that has a purpose for children or families, you can actually give Crime Stoppers a call and say, hey, listen, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of this community-based event, and there's no charge.
Organizations that are like affiliated with the United Way, nonprofits, community agencies that have a mission that supply services or programs for children and families. We do this as a service. We just want them to be there. This is an opportunity for them to get in front of their target audience and provide a lot of information. We do still have a little bit of room for some of our businesses that will also like to have that. And so we can talk about, if they want to come on board and join us as one of our sponsors. But we have a lot of space, so we do still have some room if there's somebody that's interested, but we'll probably have 25, 30 different agencies inside, and they'll get their own little space. Some have been doing this for years. They get very elaborate.
And they all try to outdo each other in the events, as well as the costumes as well. And that's part of the enjoyment of the event itself, because you'll see one table perhaps or one exhibitor dressed up all as pirates, and then they'll have a Western thing. But it's really an exciting. And each one of these things has a value to the community. So you can pick up a brochure, or you can get some information about that agency that's out there. But I know in the past you've done things, you've had like little haunted houses inside the facility, you've had games and things, and all of the exhibitors and all the people that are displaying there really go the extra step to make this event very special for all the young people and all the families that come.
It's very true, and as you said, some have get a little bit more elaborate because they've been doing it for a number of years. We'll see some people that will bring their own easy up pop-up tents, and they'll put walls around them and create little haunted houses or exhibits inside, a lot of decorations that come out. So, and as you said, the vision was early on is let's use this as an opportunity for the kids to have a safe place to trick or treat.
Sure.
And so if they visit every booth, it's like going through an entire neighborhood.
Exactly.
It's like knocking on 25 doors, if you will, or 30. But then we also thought, while we have this opportunity, let's make it a trick or treat for parents too, where parents will be able to get vital and crucial information about services information that may be educational, that they can take the brochure or a booklet or some type of training tool that they can bring home and actually do with their children.
Yeah,
a
that's
coloring book that teaches them about bicycle safety or water safety or electric safety, all the different things, fire safety. It's really a way for both levels of attendees. Families, parents, they get something that they can use and spend some quality time teaching with their kids. And of course the kids, they all enjoy the trick-or-treating, if you will.
And I must say, you know, the families come, and some of them are even dressed up too to get into the spirit of the thing. But we've seen young people, young, second, third graders. But it's also good for those middle schoolers too, because there's a little something for everyone. And the more participation that you see there, it just gives that really nice Halloween atmosphere.
Well, and it's interesting that you should say that, because with this new venue, we do have some new opportunities. And we even have some opportunities. I am having some dialogue with some teen youth groups.
Oh, good.
Because of the size that we have in there, and we've been able to forge a partnership with Jumpy King, which is a company that provides a lot of these bounce houses and games and inflatables. And so inside, a good portion of that exhibition hall is going to be what we're going to try to create, like a carnival or a midway area.
Oh, cool.
We're going to
That's
have
a great idea.
We're going to have like a 25-foot double lane slide, inflatable slide, like some people rent for their birthday parties and stuff like that. We're going to have a bounce house in there. We're going to have a number of carnival-related games of skill. As I said, we'll have the dunk booth outside. But we're going to have a midway carnival-type atmosphere. And so I've also thought, because we are a community agency and a community service group, that this would be a great way, because with that expanded list of offerings, we're going to need a little bit more volunteer manpower. And I thought this would be a great way for teens and youth groups that are looking for community service hours, key clubs, youth groups, scouts, anyone, young people that are interested in getting a few hours of community service. We'll document them. I'll give them something that says the number of hours that they work. But if anyone's interested out there, whether they're an advisor or a sponsor for a youth group that wants to bring their youth group out and say, hey, we'll staff a couple of games, or we'll handle the dunk booth or whatever, contact me again through the information that's provided here, and we'd love to go ahead and have you join up as a volunteer and a partner. And again, that way it's really getting the whole family. You've got the adults taking the young ones, the teens can be involved in providing some of those fun and games. And I don't know about you, but getting community service hours to run a dunk booth or slides and jump house and those kinds of things,
not bad.
It's a pretty good little gig.
But I must tell you though, Frank, and I said over the years that we've participated, and we found the thing that, families feel very comforted in coming to an event like this because of the diversity of the different things that are there, the way that you've had it set up, and I'm sure the way that you'll have it set up for this one. There's a flow of things. If you want to go over and do the games, you can do the games. If you want to just get candy, or if you want to see something, some kind of demonstration, you have this real sense of a community activity taking place. And in the past and always that you have this real sense of community engagement. And the community engagement is a crucial factor in this, because I'm sure that you can't do this by yourself. You have to outreach to a wide variety of sponsor organizations and vendors to help you. And hats off to them for doing that. And let's talk a little bit about your sponsors and the people that have really stepped up to make this the signature event that it is.
Well, you hit it right on the head, Charles. And really, honestly, Crime Stoppers kind of acts as the glue to hold all this together and to put it together, and we do fortunately budget resources to be able to underwrite this over the course of the years. But really, without the partner agencies, those organizations, and several of them have been with us from the very beginning. We have faith-based organizations like the Biblical Heritage Institute, several churches, Faith Bible Church, to health-related services. Manatee County Rural Health Services has had a booth, and they're actually one of our sponsors as well. They've been with us since the beginning. Several of the Kiwanis clubs, the Manatee Sunrise Kiwanis has been with us as a partner. And of course, then we've got the youth groups like the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts of America, the Young Marines. So there's a number of youth-oriented organizations that participate, and they take the time to set up these booths, get the literature, pass out the candy, do those kinds of things. I mean, if we don't have something for the kids to come to, obviously it's not a successful event. So we are very privileged. We've got some new folks this year that have signed up. We've got the Hope Family Services are planning to be there.
Excellent.
The Florida Suncoast Safe Kids Coalition and All Children's Hospital and Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Wonderful.
Manatee County Habitat for Humanity, as I said, most of our law enforcement agencies. So they serve as the partners that help make the event successful when the kids show up. But the other part, which really provides the resources, because this doesn't come together for free.
Oh, it has to be there. I mean, there's, and that's again what I was saying. Hats off to those people who have really stepped up to make it. And the thing that I want to kind of reinforce here, this event has been and has always been free.
Right.
It's free and it's open to the public. You can bring one kid, you bring 10 kids, you can bring as many kids as you want to the event, and it's free.
Right.
And when those young kids leave that facility, they got bags of candy, they've got little gifts, they've got giveaways that are doing that, and all of this is provided at no cost to anyone that's there. And that's why your sponsors and things have really stepped up to make that possible.
Well, you're exactly right. And without them, as you can imagine, just renting the fairgrounds, getting the games in, the dunk booths, we provide popcorn for the kids that come there. Tropicana, they're one of our sponsors, been with us for years. They donate a bunch of orange juice. So we don't necessarily, because it gets busy, we don't necessarily have one for everyone when they get there. But we normally run out about halfway through, but they normally donate a couple thousand servings of juice for us that we pass out. And of course, several of our sponsors, METV. You are one of our media sponsors that helps us promote and get the information out, because we can have the greatest event set up, but without the promotion to make people aware of what's going on, when and where, obviously we wouldn't have all those people enjoying those services. So METV, the Bradenton Herald has been one of our keynote sponsors from the get-go, putting out ads for us. Bright House Networks, another wonderful sponsor, helps to underwrite it. They've had booths in some years, and some years they weren't able to staff it, but they help to provide resources, and they also, I know, partner with you to put our little PSA commercials on various channels to help put that information out.
That's a good thing to get the word out. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but the one thing that I really think is important is, and again, I want to come back to Crime Stoppers, is Manatee Crime Stoppers, and under your leadership and with your board, realize this is an important activity. You're underscoring a safe community. You're giving a community a wonderful event, but at the same time exposing them and giving information about the great work that Crime Stoppers continues to do. So hats off to Crime Stoppers for continuing to make this event important and essential to the community. I think in this community, anything that you've been doing for 10, 11 years going on, people look forward to it. Families are already planning on it. And whether it's going to be at the City Auditorium or at the fairgrounds, people will come to the event simply because of the quality and the caliber and the significance of having a great family night.
Absolutely. And as you said, really, it's been a labor of love. And this is something that everyone that's involved sees this as, there's some folks that do some really great activities and have certain events throughout our community, their signature events, and they're great. But in many cases, they also serve as fundraisers. And for us, from day one, we've always said, as long as that we can get the support from our participating agencies and partners, as well as those great sponsors. And as I said, I would like to recognize a few of those, because they all recognize the importance of doing this as a community service. They all recognize that it's more important to spend a few bits of resources, times, dollars to provide a safe place for the community to go. If we, and you never know what we would prevent, but you've heard in years past, a dark street without street lights, a kid in a costume, excited to be dressed up, runs across the street, he gets hit by a car. Those kinds of things. We feel that over the years, there's no way to capture those statistics, but we feel like we have definitely provided a very safe environment and service to folks. And so, again, without the people, like I mentioned, the Bradenton Herald, Bright House Networks, Waste Pro is a company in our community. Manatee County Rural Health Services, we're we're excited this year. Superior Asphalt is one of our new sponsors and donors. Waste Services and Progressive Waste, a new company that just opened up in Palmetto. They said, hey, we want to become a part of the community.
Excellent.
They actually have an office and a property where they're doing services out of Palmetto, and they immediately saw the value of jumping on. As I mentioned, Tropicana, been with us from the very beginning. Florida Power and Light, also one of those partners in our community. And every year, talk to their staff, and Ray Dowling, she's like, count us in, we're on board, and so forth. Conley Buick GMC, like I said, we're excited to have them on this year, and we'll see how that truck or treat concept goes. But
I like the concept.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty interesting.
And then United Healthcare is a community healthcare plan that has been with us. Port Manatee been with us also from the very beginning, and they recognize the importance of being community involved. And the last partner that's a new one that I haven't mentioned previously that came on board as an in-kind sponsor, but we're kind of excited about because of all that space, Lowe's.
Oh, really?
If you have gone into Lowe's over the last few years, you see that at Halloween time, they've got some cool inflatable decorations that are there, and they were able to say, hey, you know what, we'll provide some of those floor models that they get out of the box. We're going to provide those so that you have some decorations.
So that's an added thing this year that'll be a lot of
We're
fun.
going to have a 20 to 25 foot inflatable Grim Reaper that's going to be right there by the main entrance to welcome those kids come in when they come in, and a number of other things. So like I said, we're really excited, but it really is a team effort and a labor of love of all these partners kind of coming together as a coalition to pull this off. And we've been very blessed that it's been successful for the last 10 years. And as I mentioned, I think being at the fairgrounds is going to be an exciting opportunity for us.
Well, and I think this is. I mean, this is a new page, and for Halloween Save Kids Night, and perhaps a new page for Manatee Crime Stoppers. Now, Frank, we only have a couple of minutes left, and again, I want to congratulate you for the leadership that you've had in making this work each and every year, and for the growth and success of it, because, excuse me, the event continues to grow each and every year. So that's a significant achievement in and of itself. But I want you to take a moment, to tell the community not only about the significance of Manatee Crime Stoppers, but the significance of this event.
Very good. Well, and before I even go into that, I just want to touch on, thank you for the compliments. But leadership is easy when you have a great cause that everyone's committed to, and when you have a great group of individuals. I have an outstanding board of directors that serve with Manatee Crime Stoppers, as I said, community leaders, some elected officials, some leaders in law enforcement, people that recognize the importance to have a safe community, and that there are some things that they can't do that we can in helping to get that vital, crucial information to help solve crimes. And again, the agencies that have partnered with us over the years, in the very beginning, many of them took a leap of faith. And said, hey, let's give it a try. It sounds like the concept is great, but let's come out. And over the years, as I said, there's been many of the agencies that have been with us the entire time, and they look forward to it, and they build on each year to have something bigger and better. We've had new partners that come on, and it's interesting as we initially give them the briefing and the orientation, tell them what to expect, they nod and so forth. And then watching that deer in the headlight look, that when an agency and organization participates the first time, and seeing how big their eyes are when they see people already lining up outside, coming in, and just getting swarmed. So it'll be interesting this year with the new space that we have. It may not be quite as crowded looking, which is good because it was getting a little bit tight at times.
But it gives you more room to do more things. So let's reinforce again, where it's going to be, what time it starts, and how can people find out more information. First of all, kickoff, doors open when?
5:30 p.m. It's going to be from 5:30 to 8:30 on Halloween night.
Halloween night.
Because that's the night everybody wants to go trick or treating,
and that's when everybody wants to get dressed up.
We have always done it on Halloween night because that's when the traditional trick or treating is, and that's where we think it's most important to have a safe place. There's a lot of other organizations that do a festival, churches on the weekend before, but people like to traditionally trick or treat on October 31st, so that's what we do. So October 31st, 5:30 to 8:30. It's a 3-hour period. It's a school night. So, we're done by 8:30. Plenty of time to get your kids home, get them out of their costume, snack on a couple pieces of candy, brush your teeth, and go to bed, right? But Manatee Fairgrounds, again, you can Google it. It's very easy to find if you're not familiar with it, but I think a lot of people in the community know. But it's in Palmetto, right off of 17th Street West, right across the street from Palmetto High School. There's a number of significant, iconic, locations in the community that people will know to be able to find it. And again, there's even a Manatee County bus stop for the bus transit to be able to be there.
And it's a great new location, for continued success in that. And again, Frank, I've got to say, congratulations not only in the event and making it special each and every year, and whatever challenges, finding a new location. Not only have you overcome that, you've made it probably a more significant event than in previous years. It's free. It's open to the public, and again, congratulations on that, but more importantly, for the work that you continue to do with Crime Stoppers and the significant work and the meaning that it has to this community. And we would encourage people to try to find out more about Crime Stoppers and how they can participate in some of the, giving tips to help prevent crimes in our community. Frank, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Final word, Halloween night, 5:30, where?
Manatee County Fairgrounds in Palmetto.
Right.
And as I always like to say, we'll be lurking for you.
Thanks, Frank, and thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV. And now we just